Have you ever pondered about the power you hold to shape your life's journey? Imagine, if you will, the notion of being the architect of your own reality. Not a passenger merely observing life as it happens, but an active participant, steering the course of your existence. Every choice you make, whether it seems monumental or trivial, contributes to the blueprint of your future. It's like drawing lines on an empty canvas, each stroke adding to the bigger picture. Let's delve a little deeper. Picture your life as a continuous process of attraction. You're like a magnet, pulling towards you experiences, encounters, and circumstances that align with your energy. It's not about fate or destiny, but the power within you to bend the reality of your life. Think about the people you meet, the places you visit, the situations you find yourself in. These aren't mere coincidences or strokes of luck. They are the result of the energy you emit into the world, an echo of your thoughts, your feelings, your desires. Consider this: every decision you make, every path you choose, is shaped by a blend of logic and emotion. The choices you make today lay the foundation for the reality you'll experience tomorrow. But it's not just about making choices. It's about understanding that with each decision, you are asserting your creative power. You are taking responsibility for your journey, for your successes, and yes, even your failures. This understanding fuels your momentum, ignites your motivation, and propels you forward in your everyday pursuits. It's about recognizing that you are not just a leaf being carried by the wind, but the wind itself, shaping the landscape of your life. So as you navigate through the ebbs and flows of life, remember this: you are the artist and the canvas, the author and the story, the dancer and the dance. Fundamentally, we are creators, assuming complete responsibility for success or failure, sustaining the momentum and motivation required in everyday pursuits. Have you considered that your heart's desires could be your driving force? It's a question that may seem simple on the surface, yet its implications are profoundly deep. The ability to tap into our intuition, to trust those gut feelings that often seem to arise from nowhere, is a powerful tool in shaping the course of our lives. Our intuition, you see, is a kind of internal compass, an innate guidance system that points us towards the choices that align with our deepest aspirations and values. It's a voice that whispers, not in words, but in feelings, nudging us towards certain paths and away from others. Instance, have you ever felt an inexplicable pull towards a particular decision, even when logic seemed to suggest otherwise? Or perhaps you've experienced a sudden and strong feeling of unease, a sense that something just wasn't right. These are the moments when our intuition is speaking to us, offering guidance that transcends the limitations of rational thought. But how can we tap into this intuitive guidance? Answer lies in stillness. In a world filled with noise and distractions, it's easy to lose touch with our inner voice. But by creating spaces of silence and solitude, we can reconnect with our intuition, tuning into its subtle frequencies. Is one such practice that can help us cultivate this stillness. Focusing on our breath, we anchor ourselves in the present moment, quieting the chatter of our minds and opening up a channel to our intuition. Practices like journaling or spending time in nature can also serve as gateways to our inner wisdom. Tapping into our intuition is just half the equation. Trusting it is equally important. It's about having faith in this internal compass, recognizing it as a reliable guide in our life's journey. It's about acknowledging that our hearts hold a wisdom that our minds may not always comprehend. How about it? You ready to let your heart's desires be your driving force? Lend an ear to that inner voice that's been waiting to be heard. Maintaining a clear mind enables you to dedicate unwavering attention to the desires and needs that resonate within your heart. Your intuition is ready to guide you. All you need to do is listen. Do you know that where we focus our attention determines the flow of our energy? This isn't just a metaphorical concept, it is a fundamental principle that shapes our reality. Our lives are like rivers, flowing along the course set by the energy we generate. We are the architects of our own circumstances, constructing our experiences through the energy we emit and the focus we maintain. Now, let's venture into the mechanics of energy flow. Energy, like water, needs to circulate freely. But what happens when it doesn't? What happens when it becomes stagnant? You might find yourself stuck in life, encountering similar situations repeatedly, or attracting the same types of relationships. It's as if you're trapped in a revolving door going round and round but not getting anywhere. This is energy stagnation, a result of our focus being fixated in one place for too long, creating a vortex that keeps pulling us back into the same circumstances. Understanding this, it becomes paramount to recognize the type of attention we're giving to our thoughts. Our attention, much like a magnet, can be polar or non-polar. Polar attention, which can be either positive or negative, attracts and repels reality. It's like a double-edged sword. When we think positively about something, we attract more of what we love. Conversely, when we think negatively, we repel the good and attract more of what we dislike. On the other hand, non-polar attention is neutral. It neither attracts nor repels, but rather dissolves reality. It's like a calm river, flowing steadily without creating whirlpools of repeated circumstances. So how can we harness this knowledge to shape our reality? The key lies in being mindful of where we direct our attention. By focusing on positivity and what we want to attract, we can manifest more of it in our lives. It's about steering our energy flow in the direction that serves us best, avoiding the whirlpools of negativity and stagnation. Remember, energy flow is not a one-time event. It's a continuous process that requires conscious effort and consistent practice. We need to be mindful of where we direct our attention, as it has a significant impact on our lives. Did you know that our attention can attract and repel reality? Imagine this for a moment. We have two types of polar attention, positive and negative. It's like the two ends of a magnet. The positive end of our attention attracts, drawing more of what we love and desire into our lives. On the other hand, the negative end repels, pushing away what we don't want or fear. This is where the power of our thoughts comes into play. When we think positively about something, we are in essence tuning our attention to the positive end of the spectrum. And like a magnet, we attract more of what we love. It's a simple yet powerful concept. Positivity breeds positivity. Now, what about the negative end? Well, when we think negatively, we are focusing our attention on the negative end of the spectrum. And in turn, we draw in more of what we dislike or fear. It's a cycle that can be hard to break, but understanding how it works is the first step in shifting the direction of our attention. But here's where it gets interesting. Our attention isn't just a one-way street. It's not only about what we're drawing in, it's also about what we're pushing away. When we focus on the negative, we're not just attracting more negativity, we're also repelling positivity. In essence, we're setting up a barrier that makes it harder for the good things to reach us. It's like putting up a do not enter sign for positivity. So, how do we shift from negative to positive? How do we turn our attention magnet around so that we're attracting more of what we love and less of what we don't? It starts with awareness. Noticing where our attention is focused and consciously choosing to direct it towards the positive. By focusing on positivity and what we want to attract, we can manifest more of it in our lives. So let's make the choice to shift our attention. Let's choose to focus on the good, to attract more of what we love, and to create a reality that truly resonates with us. Because in the end, it's our focus, our attention, that shapes our reality. Have you noticed how fear and survival instincts shape our perception of the world around us? It's an age-old conditioning, deeply entrenched in our biology, often dictating our actions and reactions. From the dawn of humanity, we've been programmed to identify, avoid, and eliminate potential threats to our survival. This primal instinct, while necessary for our ancestors, has led us to operate from a place of constant fear and survival mode in today's world. This conditioning, while it served us well in the wild, can often hold us back in the modern world. We find ourselves avoiding conflict, shying away from risks, and living in a perpetual state of self-protection. But when we look closely, we realize that it's not just about physical survival anymore. It's about emotional survival, psychological survival. We are constantly on guard, protecting our hearts and minds from perceived threats that may not even exist. Nowhere is this more evident than in our relationships. How often do we find ourselves stuck in the same patterns, attracting the same types of relationships over and over again? This is not mere coincidence. It's a result of our inability to let go of past traumas, of our fear of repeating past mistakes. We become so fixated on avoiding negative experiences that we inadvertently close ourselves off to the possibility of new, healthy relationships. But what if we could shift this perspective? What if we could let go of our past traumas, our fears, and instead focus on building new, healthy relationships? It's not about ignoring or suppressing our fears, but rather acknowledging them, understanding them, and growing from them. Imagine the possibilities if we could break free from this cycle of fear and survival. If we could replace fear with love, replace survival with thriving, we could then attract relationships and experiences that align with our true desires, that resonate with our hearts, and that bring us joy and fulfillment. Shifting our attention to the good things can allow the energy to flow in the right direction, creating a reality we desire. It's a powerful shift, one that can transform not just our relationships, but our entire lives. And remember, the power to make this shift lies within you.